Hey guys, Spartan here from SpartanTrading.com. Wanted to hit you guys with another trade review today. This one on NK, which we pretty much nailed both the long and short. I was actually surprised that this broker that I use had shorts on it. Typically it doesn't. I just go through center point to get the shorts and the allocates. But anywho, let's take a look at kind of what happened here. I can show you the trade. I'll just pull this. I don't want to pull it down too much. Don't want to flash the account number. But anywho, there's the some of the executions. So obviously you can see them here. Buying the 594, selling all the way up. And then you can see at the end of it, I sold the rest, and then I flipped it short for a point and change to the downside. I'm actually still short a piece of it right now, overnight, that I got back into at the 758 spot, and it's holding up okay after hours. We'll take a look at that in a second. It's actually not really selling off too much, but I'm up a little bit on it, so that's good. Anywho, let's take a look at this from a intraday perspective. What the heck was I doing? Why did I get into it, etc.? What was the idea? So in the room, basically, guys, when I was looking, I was just scanning through charts. I saw that NK, as I was going through recent runners, was flagging on the daily. Flagging on the daily, just a standard breakout pattern, obviously. And I figured, okay, I'm going to take some long on this NK as it's breaking the flag. If volume comes in, it could easily push into the 680 spot, which was my first target. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, I alerted the whole trade live and the targets, etc. as it was going on. But anywho, took the trade long on the breakout on the flag, and you can see my long here. So there was two reasons, obviously, the flag on the daily, and you can see my long right here. And I was also watching the last day's highs. Typically when a stock breaks last day's highs, it will get continuation to the upside higher. It's also a breakout pattern that I'll look for. Why? Breaking a last day high is technically a range break to the upside. So that's another reason to get into the position. So we got a range break from last day's highs. We also have a flag break on the daily with room to 680. I figured, well, okay, I'll take the stock at, it was at 594 at the time. Yeah, 594. I'll take decent size on it, right out the gate, 3/4 size. I actually didn't end up adding to this position. I just held that 3/4 size. Took that 3/4 size. I was going to risk right below the 50 EMA intraday. So at the time, it was about a 60-cent risk to the upside. And obviously, my first target was the 680. And I saw that if that level broke, it had quite a bit of room to the upside above the 680. So 680s broke. You had room into the next, 680s broke. You had room into the next level of resistance, 755s, and then so on and so forth, 845, 849 level, and then into the basically the 10s at that point. So the whole idea was obviously get it on the flag break, look for continuation higher. This was the signal intraday to get in. Took the trade long. As it started to push, because I had decent size out the gate, I was just scaling out of it right away. So I sold a little bit at the 625 area, and then I was selling more at 679. You can see all the fills there. Actually, I'm going to do like this on the 1 minute chart. You can see everything a lot easier here. There you go. So I took my position, waited, started to push to the upside, and then I started to scale out as it ran. You can see the pushes. The 680 level obviously started to take off one half of the position. And then as it pushed through that level, I was just scaling out more and more and more as I saw topping on the L2. And you can see, obviously the areas I was looking to sell. Every single time I saw sellers coming on the L2, I was just taking more and more off. So selling some at the 750 at level, which was actually the next target as well. And then it started to push. We saw continuation to the upside. And was scaling out again when I saw sellers pop in on the L2. When we got to the high of the day, there was actually an extension on the 10-minute chart. It's one of the technical strategies that I've created over the last 5 years, and it has a very high probability of working. So when I saw that, I actually exited the entire position. So my last sell was at the 937 area. So I pretty much almost hit the high of the day on the first push, which is great. So it was a good long position, made 3 points on it to the upside, and then because of that extension, I figured, okay, I'm going to take some short risk the high of the day, 20 cents above it, 30 cents above it. I was actually risking right to 10 bucks. That's where my stop was. So I ended up taking it short, risking the 10. It popped. It failed to get above it, double top. And I use a 10-minute chart. I don't use a 1 minute. I'm just showing you the 1 minute so you can see where everything was covered, etc. And then it started to sell off at decent size on it. I added into the position. It pulled down. I covered a little bit at 823 here, and then at the 823 here level again when it held that support. I saw a buyer come in on the L2. You can see a little bit of a bounce. I still have the position short, have my stops at the entries, and then basically I was looking for it to fade off into this level on the daily chart, which was the EMA support. So I was covering into the 8 EMA, and then I was covering into the 13 EMA. And then as it broke that level, I was looking for further continuation to the 50. It didn't end up getting there, obviously. And that's when I started to just get out of the whole position because I figured it's going to start to curl. And then, you know, eventually, obviously saw a little bit of a bounce up. And right now I'm still swinging some of it short. I just decided to get out of most of it because of the downtrend break. I had the stops right now at the entries, which ended up being around 870. Let me just tell you what my average is right now. 876 on the average for NK, so after my ad. And basically right now I'm looking for a continuation on the downside. But the whole, I guess, kind of trade, the whole idea of it was obviously breakout on the upside. It had room for continuation higher, and then as I saw that extension rule kick in for me, decided to take all the profits, flip it short, which I actually had shorts on it, which was cool on this account because typically I don't on Quest Trade. They just don't really have a lot of borrows. And then eventually just ended up getting out of most of the position when we started to hold that 13 and not sell off anymore, and the downtrend broke. I'm swinging some overnight. We'll be looking for further continuation lower on the downside. I want to see it maybe get to around the 630 level. Getting to that mark, and then maybe look to go long again if it starts to hold that area of support. So that's basically it on this trade, guys. Pretty standard low flow play, breakout, took it long, sold it on the way up. This one, typically I don't flip them short, but flipped this one short, took it down, and swinging a little bit on the short side. So overall, I think the total gain on this thing was around 5 points. It's like 4.75, I guess, $4.75. So that's pretty good. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from that. Just wanted to review that trade. It was a nice position. We took it in the room, both on the long and the short side, as well as I gave it for free on Twitter. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, Spartan Trading, @Spartan Trading. I give out ideas all day, good information, etc. Anywho, that's it for today, guys. I'll get some more of these review videos coming up weekly, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.